time I put my backpack together, it was like at 25. And then I got it down to 18. And then I went to a lecture up in Atlanta, and they're like, this is you need to pack like you're doing a day trip. You need to get it to about 10 pounds. Do you know how hard that is? Seriously, if you look at the packing list, I mean, it's 2 or 3 shirts. You know, this is exactly what I wore. This wool, everything's supposed to be wool, because apparently this is a wool t-shirt. My yoga pants. I did have some shorts that I bought. I was told not to get this, and believe me, this is just all my personal stuff. Y'all might have a different experience, but they said the zip-off things would rub, and not to do it. It's like, this isn't fun. But somebody told me to get potassium magnesium pills and put it into your water. That was the best advice. I didn't walk a lot. I made sure I was sucking on my water like all the time. I never got cramps. I never got blisters. I mean, that's unbelievable. These shoes were also 5 years old. They were very, very well broken in.
What is considered the best time of year to go?
I picked September 1st through October because that had the least amount of rain. But Bill Shira with the Gulfstream just did it, and he went in the wintertime and got rained on a lot. He also did it in like 28 days. And he doesn't like to be hot. The problem is going when it's cold, a lot of the hostels are not open. So you got to be really careful. And hey there. Yeah.
When it's hot, they're not open? Is that what you
When it's cold, in the winter. Matter of fact, the very first day that you go over the Pyrenees, if you do the Saint Jean Pyrenee Port, there's 2 paths. One that goes over the mountain, which I chose to do because it's spectacular, or you go along the side of the mountain and you meet up. So if you're doing it in the wintertime, you're required to do the lower elevation. So, heck, you came!
I came, sorry.
Oh my gosh, you didn't have to drive all the way up here?
I had to. I had to.
What is the wet season there?
Spring. Out, and I put water on it, and it didn't go through. You got to be really careful with anything that you buy that is waterproof. It's got to be. You really got to make sure. I even carried one of these. It never rained one day. I finished, and the next day it poured. But you want to carry. I had talked to some people that had done the Caminos numerous times. They carried a great big hefty bag in case it did rain. You put everything in there, and you put it in your backpack. I carried it's a Gregory, and it's 38 liters. I'd never had a backpack before, but I thought this guy was pretty cool. Everybody on the trail also names you name your backpack. So this was Jade. But it opens like a clam, and that is really nice because you can put it on your bed, and you can open it, and you can see everything in there. So,
is Gregory what you named it, or was that the brand?
no, that's the brand. That's the brand.
Okay.
And you know, it's interesting living out of a backpack for a month and a half. It's a great lesson in life. Less is more. I did not carry trekking poles. A lot of people recommend them. I mean, if your knees are bad, I would recommend them, but I would lose them. And it wasn't just me, because every hostel I went to, the people were like, you want some trekking poles? So, and I would pick up some trekking poles if I knew the elevation was high, but I would forget them again. So.
Was €1,000 enough cash?
I carried €1,000. I did. I carried it in my. All right, this is a must. This is something that you wear around, you know, if you look at fanny pack. This is not a fashion show. So I would get it bigger next time. Just because. And I had to buy a little coin purse because of all the euros that you go through. They were just falling out everywhere. I didn't bring enough little Ziploc. But the groups would ship your bags to the hotel.
So I've looked into this a lot, and
Whoa.
I can't imagine not staying in a hotel. Like,
Yeah.
And like, and having to deal with that, that's like just too, you're already in pain. Like, I don't
Right.
need to be in that much pain. But, you know, the services that kind of plan it for you and
Yeah.
pre-plan everything and will take your bag from place to place, they're super expensive.
$5.
And so what I'm
Yeah.
hearing is
Rented them in Burgos, and we had to go over a mountain. That's not flat. with they're rocks. I mean, we had to walk most of the way. I mean, it's very hard to, I mean, it was hard.
Do they
So,
have gears? The bikes
yeah,
have
oh yeah, the
gears?
bikes were great. The service, we told him we would be there at 10 because we had 40 miles to go that day. He had the bikes ready at 3. So that was the only time that I mean, the sun was going down, and literally we looked, there was nothing in sight. It's like, well, what are we gonna do? T-Mobile, thank God for T-Mobile. I mean, we could be in the middle of nowhere, and T-Mobile, I had 5 bars. Apparently T-Mobile is a German company, and I think they use satellite or something, but it was phenomenal.
In what way did it help you though?
Because I could look up in my book
Oh,
and find out what was near here. I'm not a direction person. But thank God I Santiago by John Brierley. Between this book, because I got to a point on the path, I was following the book, following the arrows, and there was a gate. But the path kept going through, and I was like, great, now what? And there was a German guy there, and he said, get the Camino companion. He said, it says to go through the gate. I was like, okay. So I downloaded it. It was like $10, and it got me, I mean, I used that thing like crazy.
how did it get you through the gate?
They have a great Facebook page that can answer any question. But they mail it, you send off, say, I'm requesting a credential, and they mail it back to you, and I heard that Appalachian Trail is actually doing this now. You have to get it stamped every night, once or twice, once where you sleep and maybe where you eat. But and really at the very end, they look at it with a magnifying glass, like we're making sure, because a lot of people say they do it and then they don't, but they go through and they make sure that it's all stamped.
Theater blog, have you ever hiked the Appalachian?
Okay,
And
so
how does it compare?
no, I haven't. I was thinking about it until I put on the 30-pound backpack and just went like that. And there happened to be a girl in back of me who realized a way to do it. And it's true.
because there's places to stay along the way.
Yes.
Where you don't have to camp, like the Appalachian Trail. you
They
gotta
don't
camp,
want you
right?
camping. And I thought about getting a hammock, but the whole experience is to be with people and to eat dinner with them and to walk with them or walk alone. They want us to get back to that. That's part of it.
Could you talk about trying to walk with a group? I mean, to me, it doesn't seem.
This because you're trying to find places to spend the night. You can't really depend on your phone to do it. So you need something to write down in. But yeah, I wouldn't suggest, if you want to, I would suggest walking alone. That's just me. But
So the people that you met, was there a lot of, was English like a universal language, or?
the only thing universal was the word Buen Camino. You say that at when you pass people. Everybody says Buen Camino. It's a good way, for a good way. A lot of Korean. Why am I rushing? This is the one and only time I'm going to do this. Because when you get there, you're done. It's over. And you miss it. I'm telling you, it took me a long time to get back into the swing of being in civilization.
You said that you were only going to do it once. If you were to do it again, what would you do differently?
I would take less clothes. This is, like I said, what I wore every day. I would, you know what, let's pull out that packing list and just go over this.
When you had the sarong out, what did you use that for?
Okay, this thing I used for getting out of the shower. Okay, so most people tell you you take a piece of, it feels like chamois. That's what they want you to dry off on. I made my skin crawl. I couldn't stand it, so I would use this, and then I splurged in Spain and I bought this. This is what I would take a shower in. But this was also used to protect me from the sun when it was 100 degrees. I mean, there's pictures of it somewhere.
What is that made of?
This is cotton, and they say not to bring cotton. It felt so good to wear cotton.
And so why don't they want you to have cotton?
Because it takes a long time to dry. But I overcame that with safety pins that I would put on the back of my backpack and let everything dry. So as long as it wasn't raining. So
And how safe were you?
I was a single woman traveling. I never felt like there was any problem.
That's important.
Yeah,
That's great.
I would totally do it again by myself. But I did love meeting up with people. I hiked with the very first day I met a girl named Denise, and then 2 weeks into it, you talk about interesting. We were at a hostel, and we sat down next to this woman named Mary. Mary said, "Oh, I just left Charlotte." And Denise is like, "Wow, I'm from Charlotte." She said, "Yeah, my friend was telling me that there's a girl down in Mexico named Mary that was going to be walking it. Who was her?"
Oh, shit.
That's so weird.
The world becomes.
You know, there's a saying on the Camino provides. And I've heard of so many incidences where it does provide. You know, the guy that taught this class in Atlanta said he had a heat stroke, and within a second, there was somebody that was a doctor that could help him. My bike had a flat tire, and some French people drove by. That's a no-no. If somebody's in distress, you are supposed to stop. I was like, "Hey," he's like, he ignored me. Then 3 Italians came, and I held up some candy bar, and they changed it. And I said, "Candy bar?" He said, "No." But you know what? The French guy actually turned around and came back, because you're supposed to help people along the way.
Italian stopped?
After the Italians already changed my tire. Absolutely. Absolutely. I would still carry a sleeping bag in September. I get cold really easily, and it gets down to like in the early 37, 38, 40 at night, and it swings like crazy. So I had it was a 1 pound. It was good till about 25 degrees, but it was light, and I did not bring a silk liner. I think if I had to do it again, I would just maybe carry the silk liner and not the helio, because that's only half a pound. That's like 3 ounces.
Helio
Silk
is
keeps
what?
bed bugs away too.
What's helio?
That was the name of the what do you call it? The
Sleeping
sleeping
bag
bag.
liner?
Yeah. It was a sleeping bag, and I really liked the fact that it unzipped at my feet, because I would sometimes get hot. I didn't have to get out of the bag completely, so it would open up all the way.
What is the best time of the year to go if you don't want an extremely hot North
If I
Pole?
did it again, I'd go mid-September instead of the beginning of September. There was still a lot of kids that were hiking it. By the end of it, they had all left, but it was chilly.
Summer's a no-no.
Ugh, I wouldn't do it. And that's when tons and tons of people are there. There's no way I would do it.
How many people do you think were where you were? I mean, on the road when you were there? Was it
Throughout the
crowd,
year,
or-
it's 300,000
No,
get it.
just
But
on your trip. I mean,
yeah, sometimes I would
was there
see
a crowd?
people. Yeah, once you got to the little village, I mean, you could spot a pilgrim anywhere. But yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of us. A lot.
Look, they look so normal, like normal people, everyday people. So-
And that's the beauty of the Camino, because you don't have to be, that's true. You don't have to be like this macho person. Yeah, that's Denise, and I met these 2 gals. That was a freezing cold day. There's our progressive party. Oh, this was so cool. Who's ever heard that song? I will walk by.
Oh, yeah, right.
So we actually started playing that, and everybody got up and started dancing to it. It was so fun. It's just, these guys are from Panama. She's from Australia, Mexico. Denise is from Charlotte. So just, I mean, the people that you meet, it's just, it'll be a family forever and ever.
Did you ever not have a place to sleep? Was it too
Close.
crowded?
The second night in Zabiri, we were so lucky. We got a place, but a lot of people ended up in the gymnasium sleeping on the floor. So don't go in a holy year.
It was yours.
Yes, because everything's dusty and I don't know where it is.
Did you wear smart wool socks?
I have seams in it. I brought 4 pairs of socks and gave 2 away. So every night I'd wash out this one and wear the other one. But these are smart wool, not very pretty. But
It's not pretty though.
they made sure I got a bed.
Yeah, okay.
So I would get in at 1 o'clock, and then I actually went grocery shopping because I liked to cook. I like to cook. A lot of the places have kitchens, and they're very well equipped. And I'm telling you, you start doing the onions and the pasta and the olives. I mean, I had some crazy meals, but next thing you know, everyone's sitting around the table going,
Was that?
There are other people coming in after
See,
that,
I would wear, this is a buff, and I would put it over my head and cover my eyes that way, and then I'd turn on my phone all night and listen to white noise, because I can tell you the wax doesn't work. You can hear people snoring all night long, or coughing.
or going in and out, or going to the bathroom, or everything.
Oh yeah, and you know, they turn on the light and you're like, really? But this thing helped.
What about charging your phone?
Yeah.
I ended up buying a longer cord over there, and since I would usually get there first, I could plug it in right next to my bed. So, yeah, you can definitely, they're pretty accommodating. I mean, they have like a long strip for everybody, because everybody carries a phone.
So you would arrive into a town at 1 o'clock, and you'd have the rest of the day
To
find a place
sightsee.
to do. So you
Yeah,
would just
oh yeah, yeah.
rent a donkey.
I didn't ride a donkey. I didn't. This is a real typical, you know, thing. You come, we'd spend the night there, and that's about how many people you see walking it. You'd walk past, you know, grapes and I don't know. Oh, here's the other thing. You need a hat. The sun is so intense, so I wore my Savannah hat. Can't believe how many people stop and say, Savannah, can I come visit you? So yeah, it's kind of grody now, but a lot of people would also have the big brimmed hats, which is good too. But this was easy to pack up and put away. Glasses, I can't see without my glasses, so I went to my eye doctor and he put me in progressives and tints. So like when I walk out in the sun, it got really dark. I would not bring my carrying case again. I just would bring the granny chains and hang it on the end of the bed. So I was really debating, do I bring another pair? So I just brought one. The less the better. Yeah, the less the better.
Wild animals, any wild
So yeah, you know, all the books talk about the wild dogs, right? I had one dog that was a little ugly, but it's not the dogs you have to worry about, it's the bulls. It's Ferdinand. Because you walk through these fields that, you know, you open the gate, like I said, and you close the gate, and I'm walking, I'm going, Lisa, what's that to the left? And she said, that's a bull. I think, do we look at them? What do we do? They just sat there and looked at you. Yeah.
I've encountered wolves and coyotes and.
Yeah, but they were
Sometimes.
fine. They were fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm telling you, the whole trip was fine. I really thought I was going to walk the Portugal route. That's along the beach. That sounds really, really fun. But then I heard somebody say, there's a lot of pavement, and I'm not sure. The Camino that I did is just, it's just spectacular. It will change your life in so many ways.
So in addition to your airfare, say $1,500 is about what you read? A lot? And it's,
Yeah, it depends. I mean, I bought things. I bought this